Happy Monday. Welcome to Monday's Muse, your weekly wellness dose. I'm Victoria Staten, your host, and we are going to be chatting with Baraah, a very amazing woman, Arabic woman, who is a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, as well as an herbalist and nutritionist. Her about all those things, get lots of good information. Also chat about how.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Yes, I was just introducing you a little bit. So she is a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, and her practice is in the form of holistic medicine. She has a few modalities with treating patients, including acupuncture, cupping, herbal medicine, and nutritional therapy. Through all of which she has done a lot of research and seen evidence based off her research that traditional Chinese medicine is not only highly effective, but can be used as full treatment plan with successful results, which is amazing. It is a form of mind and body medicine and she focuses on assisting patients in obtaining a total homeostasis to help prevent or maintain disease, which I love because it's all about preventing, not just curing. You want to meet people before and hopefully they have some issues. So yes, thank you so much, Baraah. We actually met through Clubhouse.
Yes, I love that app. Connect
with
people on there.
Yes, so much good information out there. But thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. This is actually my first live. I'm like, see how this goes. Yes.
Good. Well, cool. I'm glad to have you on mine. It's an honor. Yes. So, Baraah, and am I saying your name right?
Baraah.
Baraah. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for telling me how to pronounce it. I don't think I'm saying it
right.
Baraah.
It's like, yeah.
Well, awesome. Yes. So, why don't you tell our viewers, people that are watching live, and those that will watch the replay, more about yourself?
Yeah. So my background, my bachelor's was in nutrition, and I worked in the field for, I would say, like 4 years before I made the switch to traditional Chinese medicine, and which was a graduate program. So my undergrad was in nutrition. I was a weight loss counselor, and then after that, I went over. I actually attended a AOMA Graduate School of Integrative Medicine here in Austin, Texas, and I graduated from there, and I decided to start my very own herbal brand called Ashab Herbs and Wellness. And really my mission is to connect both worlds, Western medicine and Eastern holistic medicine, because it's very important to connect the two, because there's just kind of like a lot of misunderstanding about herbal medicine, and so we have like the proper education to give people herbal prescriptions. So that's kind of like my mission.
Awesome. And I like that you are on the mission to connect the two, because we need both. Of course, I totally subscribe to the Eastern way of things.
Yeah.
But Western medicine is around for a reason, and I am glad to hear of a lot of MDs that are considering the whole person and considering more of a holistic route and diet and everything, because food can be medicine.
Yes.
And I think that a lot more of our Western practitioners and doctors, physicians are starting to integrate some of those things. So that makes me happy. But that's awesome to hear that you want to connect the two.
Yes.
So really, I'm sorry.
I said I've seen a lot of that recently too, like in my schooling and practicing and everything like that. It's just so there's a lot of both worlds are wanting to like work together.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to say a quick disclaimer that I always like to say every single week, that we are not doctors. We're not your doctor. Mm-hmm. So please consult with your doctor before making any changes to your diet, your nutrition, or your exercise regimen, because we want you to be well and stay well. So we are not liable.
100%. That is, yeah, I always say that too. Even when I like post anything about like herbs or anything, there's always that disclaimer. This is not regulated. Da, da, da. Speak to your doctor.
Absolutely. Yeah, 'cause we know it works, but everybody is different.
100%.
So you have to listen to your body and know what's going to work, or learn what's going to work for you and yours.
Yeah.
So I like to throw that out there. But what is your story? What made you get into nutrition? What made you get into herbs, into traditional Chinese medicine? How did you get into this?
So I've always, I grew up playing sports, so I was always like health conscious, you know, growing up. Um, I I really don't know how I got into my bachelor's for like nutrition, but it just kind of like happened. When like I was just kind of like, what should I do? I'm not really sure. And then one of my friends was like, oh, I have a there's this. It was at University of Houston. They're like, there's this degree, this nutrition degree. I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds great. So and I've always like wanted to help people with like their health. I've always wanted to be in the medical field, and I've always wanted to help people like as holistically as like possible, and with like eating and stuff. And so after that, I got my degree and I worked as a weight loss counselor for a year. And I saw such like it was patients' health with just changing the way that they eat changed so much. And of course, this is like with their doctors like approval of like getting off like certain diabetes medications or blood pressure medications and stuff like that. Like we were working with their doctors nutritionally to help them become healthier. And so one day I was just like sitting, it was like during my lunch break, I was just like, you know what, this is amazing. I have to do more. Like I have to do more. I have to do more education about holistic medicine. Like maybe I could get into like herbal medicine. And back then I was like taking herbs for, I was having like a lot of fatigue. So I was seeing like a certified herbalist for that. So I was just like, you know what, let me just Google some holistic graduate programs. Literally, that's all I did. And Ayoma showed up, and I was like reading like the classes and their mission. I was like, this is perfect. And so that's really what got. And so with traditional Chinese medicine, it's herbal medicine, acupuncture, cupping, nutritional therapy, and other things connected as well. So I had the nutrition part, but then I also was like, let me dive into this herbal part. But I also never had an acupuncture treatment before. And I remember my interview at Ayoma, they were like, you've never had acupuncture before? I was like, no, I have no idea. They're like, they got me into the clinic after my interview. They're like, okay, you need to at least experience acupuncture. And I experienced it. And I was like, this is amazing. This is what I want to do. And so and I'm glad I did it because we had clinicals and it's just amazing how I saw like so many different types of like holistic therapies, and it's really, really, really made such a difference in like patients' health. So
Yes, it's awesome. And just like she's mentioning all these different, I guess, alternative medicine therapies or just different routes. Yeah, it totally works hand in hand with the traditional Western medicine because you're seeing a doctor, maybe you're even seeing a chiropractor. You
yes.
can definitely get acupuncture. You can definitely get cupping, and it's going to help the entire process, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like really having a custom, like personalized health plan is really the most important. Like having your doctor on board, having like your like maybe like a dietitian, and I really think also is like really helping people find like giving like referring people to practitioners that they need. You know, like if they come to us and they're like, okay, maybe you need to see this kind of specialty. And like, that's what I like, that's really my goal, like community wise, is like, okay, you can come to me for like back pain. And maybe, you know, like let me work with your neurologist with your back pain. and, you know, see what kind of herbs you can take and all of that. And kind of like having, and that's another thing with holistic medicine, is that you see us more than just like once. We like to have like a treatment plan, maybe at least 6 weeks at first. You see us like once a week for 6 weeks. We ask all the questions from what you eat to your bowel movements to your stress level, and we help you from all of those different aspects to help you like organize like a specific personalized health plan.
So what would you say are the main benefits of cupping or acupuncture?
So I would say with cupping and acupuncture and holistic medicine in general is helping your body treat itself. And a lot of it is helping your body go into like homeostasis. So for example, if you're having any type of pain in like in holistic medicine, in Chinese medicine, sometimes, I mean, it just kind of depends, but this is just in general. Sometimes it could be like stagnation, you know, so like there's not enough like blood flow. So blood flow is really important for your overall health, and it, you know, blood carries nutrients, and nutrients help bring down inflammation. So acupuncture helps overall circulation, helps release neurotransmitters, and with cupping, it helps bring up the like, so with the cups, it helps like bring up toxins and helps your lymphatic system drain it out. So there's a lot of like benefits that are like, that have been researched that are shown to do all of those things.
Wow. So I guess with the lymphatic drainage, would that be also maybe someone who is having some swelling? Could that potentially help?
Yeah, and also like you said, like it depends. Like we would have to sit down and ask like all the questions. But yeah, like sometimes people have like some swelling, and you know, and we also do like this like medical massage called Tui Na, and like that also helps like drain your lymphatic system. And also what's really popular that I've seen is gua sha. And gua sha is really for like kind of like circulating like blood and draining lymphatic system and stuff like that. And we also do gua sha, just not on the face. We do it on the neck, or if you have any pain and stuff like that.
Wow. Wow. That is a lot. That's awesome.
Yeah. There's a lot.
So of course you found this schooling online, which is funny. That is something we have in common. I am in an herbal. I'm becoming a master herbalist.
Oh my
And
goodness, congratulations!
and a naturopathic doctor. Gosh, it's like so much.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of research online, and I found different boards that will certify you to. Then I want to get a board certification as a nutritionist, and you know, everything's out there online. You just have to do the research. I mean, yeah. So that's funny. We have that in common, finding tools that way. But so, what made you want to become a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner?
I think a lot of it was I just really wanted to help people become healthier, and I wasn't sure like what route in like the medical field. I was like, do I want to be an MD? Do I want to be a pharmacist? Like, what is it that I want? I think a lot of it was after my schooling as a nutritionist, I was just like, I saw so many amazing results. I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, I'm just like, it just like, everything just like, it just like clicked to me. I was just like, I can help so many people with herbal medicine, and like herbal education is so important, because also I grew up, you know, Middle Eastern, and we have a lot of like herbs that my mom and grandma would use. And so I was just like, oh, like I could take that, put science into it. And also what I've learned, like we learned the Chinese herbal materia medica. We learned over like 300 herbs and how to formulate them. So I was like, my knowledge in herbal medicine growing up with what I've learned, and also like Western herbalism, which is kind of like what you find in your backyard. you know,
Yeah.
like what you can grow. And I was like, I can help so many people. This is amazing. Like everyone needs to know about this. And that's really what really motivated me to
Yeah.
do.
So since you mentioned it, because I love like Middle Eastern food. Actually, my husband is from the East Coast, from Jersey, and he grew up around just this
Jersey.
melting pot. I mean, he has friends that are from Kazakhstan, Afghanistan, other parts of Africa and everything. And I love when I go there because I get to eat the authentic food. And
Yes.
I love
My husband's from New York, so they, yes, yeah. So there's like, I know what you mean. Like going to like New Jersey and New York, that you find all of the food from all that part of the world.
Yes,
It's
it's
amazing.
amazing. And they use a lot of different spices. And,
Yes.
you know, it's not just for the taste, but there's so many nutritional benefits to these spices. So tell me a little bit more about that, because I was going to ask you totally about how your culture has influenced your work, although I know you're not Chinese, but
Yeah.
from being Middle Eastern,
Yeah.
how would you say that that has influenced or even ignited something within you to make you even more excited, more passionate?
So I just remember growing up, if I had like a stomach ache or anything like that, my grandma and my mom would be like, "Go get some sage and make a tea and drink it." And every time I would do that, I mean, of course, it's like, what is your stomach pain? Like, now that I'm older, I go, I'm like, what is it? Is the stomach pain really stomach, or is it something else? You know, like, you know what I mean? Like when you start to go to school, it's like, wait, what is it really? But,
Right.
um, but yeah, like a lot of our spices, we have this this blend of spices called za'atar, and it's really, yes, it's
I
really
use that.
really. You do? Oh,
I
good.
do.
How do you take it? How do you use it?
I use it a lot in just cooking.
Oh, nice. That's
It
good.
seems like I'm
Yeah.
about to learn something else for another way that I can use
Oh,
it.
yeah. We just, you can just like, you know, just eat it with like, we just eat it with like bread and a little bit of olive oil, and you just like, yeah, that's really good. And so like growing up, they're like, that this is so good for you and for your brain health and all of that. And then after going to school, and the thing is also like ginger, turmeric, all of that. It's like those are just like the spices in your kitchen cabinet, but if you look into the science and the properties, it is so much more, and it can be so beneficial. And that's, you know, like in our herbal pharmacy at Aoma, we actually had turmeric on the shelf, you know, and it was a lot of the formulas that we would put it in our actual herbal blended formulas. And so it's just like those herbs that you cook with can make such a difference in your health if you use them like really it just it's that's the thing. It's just like you could really like use, like it could be so beneficial for you. It's just not just like an herb or like a spice to make your food taste good, you know.
Yes. So would you also agree, for people that don't know too much about turmeric, to add pepper to your turmeric so that your body can absorb it and use it better?
Yes, I've heard that. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely do that.
And what's your take? I know I didn't like prep you with these, but like with curcumin, is one better than the other?
I know different cultures use different kinds of like branches and stuff like that. Yeah. My so I would say so I'm Palestinian. We use like just the regular cumin, and there's actually, it's so funny because my father-in-law the other day was like asked me about a specific type of herb, and I looked it up and I've never really heard of it before, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a type of cumin. And he's like, it's not really found here. It's found back like in Palestine and stuff like that. So I think different cultures have their like spices. And that's also in the Chinese materia medica. A lot of our herbs we can't really find here. So a lot of them come from like specific herbal farms and all of that.
Wow, so interesting. So you said Ashab Herbs is the name of your business. So what does that mean, and why did you choose that name?
So that means herbs in Arabic. So the actual translation is herbs. And I was like, you know, like the hardest part about a business, like to me, is like when starting out, I was like, what should I name a business? I don't know. I wrote like so many different types of names on there, and they were all getting scratched out. And I was like, okay, I think I should tie in like my Middle Eastern roots into this. And
that's
so
awesome.
Yeah.
It's different, but it's not too different because, you know, sometimes some names are
yeah.
pronounce it.
I know. That's the thing. I was like, I hope people know how to say this, and it's like not too hard.
Yeah, I think that the phonetic spelling of it it's perfect because that's shout. It works the way that you pronounce it, which is awesome. So, how would you say that traditional Chinese medicine and I guess herbalism work together? Is that something that's a natural fit, or obviously from doing both separately, you see how they work together? Is that part of the traditional Chinese medicine?
Yeah. So with TCM, it's a really good combination, very good split between herbal medicine and acupuncture. So really what kind of like what a visit with us would be like, we would ask you all the questions, you know, about your health, and then we'll give you acupuncture treatment, and then also a herbal formula to help support your treatment. So, and a lot of our formulas, we have we have certain formulas that are already like made, but at the same time, like we could do customized formulas, because a lot of it is like really, I would say our form of medicine is really personalized. But for example, if someone was kind of like, had like anemia or something, and we give them the acupuncture treatment to support that, we also can give them a herbal formula to help with their anemia or whatever it may be. And also another thing is we're board certified, and all of the states have different rules, but like for example, Texas, you have to be herbal board certified and also acupuncture, and we have 2 other board certifications. So the herbal education is actually really a huge part of TCM.
Okay, wow. So, and I guess kind of in closing, what would you say that your ultimate mission is behind what you do?
My ultimate mission is to help people, really herbal education, because it's really hard to, I mean, if I didn't go to school for herbalism, I would really not know anything, or like know how to take dosaging. And the thing is that herbal medicine is not really regulated. So a lot of the herbal supplements that you find, they're not really regulated, so that you can kind of like, the dosaging is, you have to really sit down with a certified master herbalist or a TCM practitioner to understand how much of the herbs to take. One thing that I saw like in clinic is that the very first appointment is the patients would bring in like a bags full of herbs and supplements that they heard was good online. And that can be really dangerous, because herbs are also, they have a toxicity level, or also, and another thing, and you know, like we learn in school, it's just like there's a certain amount of dosage you can take for each herb. Just because it's an herb doesn't mean you can just like take as many as you want. So I think my whole mission is herbal education, having herbs accessible and easy and safe for people to intake. And and so right now I just have like immune supporting herbs people can take that are super safe and to help boost your immune system. I mean, I'm working on hopefully like other types of conditions, but for now it's just like super safe. And a lot of like my Instagram posts are like dosaging of certain like herbs that you can find in your own kitchen that can help.
That's awesome. Yeah, making it more accessible to all people. That's great, because I think there are a lot of people that could benefit. But like you said, you want to be under the guidance of someone that knows what they're doing.
Yes.
Too much of anything can be bad for you.
Exactly.
And you also have to check, okay, if you're on, think you're taking some type of cholesterol medicine or whatever, you have to make sure there's no contraindications, that there's going to be a reaction, a negative reaction.
100%. You know, a lot of our studies and classes at IOMA were herb drug interactions. And we would know the pharmaceuticals, like we would get tested on that. And also with our board exams too, we would have to know like certain pharmaceuticals and what can interact with which herb. So,
awesome.
Yes, herbal education.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah, so as we end, thank you so much, Baraah. Is that correct?
Thank you.
Tell me, before we end, though, I like to always ask my co-host for a fun fact. So what is your fun fact that you would like to share?
Oh, you're so hard. This is the hardest question.
It really is.
My fun fact. I love coffee. I don't know.
Okay.
I love
like a particular type of coffee?
I like to. I love espressos and lattes.
Do you like a pour over, or you like espresso and latte? Okay.
Yeah. Actually, all coffee. I'm not even like picky at all. I love to go like to every single, like whatever city I'm in. I like to explore all of them, and I definitely take my friends with me. I'm like, let's go check this out. You know, I'm on the lookout for new coffee shops. Awesome. And I have an espresso in my home, and I try to be like a barista too.
Yes. Trying to make your own little concoctions.
Yes, 100%. I like to experiment with it all the time.
That's awesome. Yes, so thank you again so much. But before we go, how can those that are watching and those that will watch the replay stay in touch with you, and maybe they want to buy some of the immune booster? Where do they go? So
I have my personal Instagram, Baraah_A is what is linked on here. And then I have my and on that Instagram, I talk a lot about like herbal education, and I also have my my business page at Shab Herbs. But I also have my website on this Baraah_A Instagram. So that's just like my website, and they can just get some products.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. And I will make sure all of her information is linked on the replay so that you can click and you can purchase and support Baraah. And thank you again so much. That was so informative. I'm going to have to go back and watch and take some notes.
Thank you for having me. It was so fun.
Yes, you're very welcome. You have a great rest of your day. And thank you all so much for joining us for your weekly wellness dose, Mondays and Muse. And until next week, we'll see you next week. All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye.